Sony's onto a winning formula with its flagship Xperia Z series, or at least it must think so because the Z3 looks so much like the phone it replaces you could easily mistake the two. It's not just the exterior that's the same, both the Z2 and the Z3 share a lot of internal DNA. Both have 1080p 5.2-inch displays, both have Snapdragon 801 processors, though the Z3 is a shade faster, and both have 20.7 megapixel cameras, 16 gigs of internal storage, 3 gigabytes of RAM and Android KitKat. But for all their similarities, they're definitely different. The Z3 has the most premium finish I've ever felt on a Sony phone. It's also slightly, and I mean very slightly smaller. About a millimetre along each edge. It's also lighter and can now stay underwater for longer, if putting phones in water is your thing. The biggest difference, it turns out, is the battery life. Despite Sony putting an ever so slightly smaller battery in the Z3, it lasts much longer than any Android phone I've used in a long time. Even with fairly heavy usage, it was usually still ticking along calm the evening of the second day. This also means that if you only have a chance for a quick pit stop top up, 5 minutes in a cafe, that sort of thing, it keeps you going much longer than you expect. There are some new software tricks in the Z3 too. Photographers get a couple of new camera modes to play with, and while camera modes can be fun, in our experience they often just get in the way, or in my case ruin your next candid photo because you forgot to change it back to regular settings. Music fans can now play exotic audio formats like DSDIFF or DSF, you get the idea. The Xperia Z also supports high-res audio and will upscale your low bitrate audio in an attempt to make it sound better. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I was just willing it to be better or if it was even working at all. One software feature I did really like is screen recording. Like you're seeing now, you can record everything you do on your screen and save it to a separate video that you can edit or share. Interestingly, it lets you record full screen videos like YouTube and captures both the internal and ambient audio. There are some creative uses for this for sure, but you definitely want to keep your Snapchats away from this. Sony's also added in a video highlights feature that basically does a similar thing to HTC's Zoe, i.e. it gathers together some of your images and video clips and mashes them together in some sort of montage with plinky plonky music. I won't lie, I kinda like it. So, Sony might not have created a hardware revolution with the Z3, but given that the display is good, performance is solid, and the spec sheet remains competitive, there's very little to complain about. It's that battery life that will win over buyers, and as simple a feature as that is, in an increasingly gimmicky market, something as solid as that really makes a difference. Well played, Sony.
We really set out to make it a very familiar experience for folks that love Windows 7, but while retaining a lot of the cool innovations that we made with 8.1.